So welcome to GH News Now. Um, a few weeks ago, or let me say last week actually, Gramps Morgan of Morgan's Heritage visited Ghana and he was treated to uh, something akin to a royal's welcome. He was greeted with a lot of pomp and pageantry, if you will. Um, it's been touted as something that is good and all of that, but Blakk Rasta has a thing or two to say about the whole issue. So we're fortunate to have caught up with him today, and he is going to expatiate on what his issues are with Gramps Morgan's welcome to Ghana. You're welcome, Blakk Rasta.
Thank you so much. Blessed. Listening.
Every time. So talk to me. You had an issue with the way Gramps Morgan was welcomed to Ghana. What exactly is on your mind?
Right. Yes, I mean, it's very good to have Morgan Heritage's Gramps Morgan in Ghana. Is a very good artist. And not only him, any brethren and sisters who come all the way from foreign, and then, yes, they come home. For me, Blakk Rasta is a welcome home thing. I mean, it's a very beautiful. We know our history very well. They were part of us until the wicked man came and took them away. So it is always nice to welcome them. But what I've realized is that the welcome is always one-sided. We are the people, we at home are the people who normally welcome these brethren and sisters home. We don't meet, they don't seem to welcome us. Yes, and me with my experience traveling, doing reggae music, I do not get that kind of welcome at all. I've played with a number of artists, Jamaican artists, reggae artists, especially Jamaican artists, and they are not welcoming to African reggae artists at all. Some are even bold enough to come up to you and tell you that, hey, leave the reggae alone. Leave the reggae alone. I would like you to leave the reggae alone. Stay away from the reggae. Reggae music is a Jamaican property. Leave it out and go do some African thing. I've seen it and I've heard it over and over. And it is very terrible. We don't feel welcome. The moment you mention that you are a reggae artist from Africa, it looks like you are a threat in one way or the other to some Jamaican artists. In fact, to be honest with you, there was a time I told myself that I was not going to play Jamaican reggae on my radio show again, and I was not even going to speak Jamaican patois again. Because it looks like we are so proud of our, Jamaican fraternity, but they are not of us. See, so I wasn't happy about it. And I said, why do I have to keep associating with people who do not want to associate with me? In fact, it was one of the reasons I even decided to call my kind of reggae Choco. You see, Choco in the sense of, yes, it is Jamaican, but it has a lot of African influence in terms of our dances, our energy, our sights and sounds, mixed up and all that. See, yeah, and I've seen many of these artists on the same platform. They come to Africa, they are welcomed so beautifully and nicely. The next month or two, you are out there, you meet on the same platform, and you behave as if you don't come.
Wow. Interesting point of view. But to some people, this might sound a bit strange because a lot of the reggae music, if you listen to it, they make reference to Africa and they speak about Africa with a sense of longing and all of that. Can you explain that?
Yeah. I like that, but unfortunately, I would like to say that a lot of these is nothing but hypocritical. Listen, a lot of these artists will sing about Africa unity. We want to go back to Africa, go forward to Africa, whatever, forward or back to Africa. But when you invite them to even come to Africa, they want to charge a leg and an arm. To come and play, they go to America and charge almost nothing to play before the American crowds. Come to Africa that you are longing to come. You want a one-way ticket to Africa, and you hear that there's Ebola in one country in Africa, and for that reason you don't even want to step around Africa. See? And you want to go to America where there is In fact, we even have more diseases. Or England, where we have even more diseases. But you don't want to go to Africa, where only one country or two have recorded cases of some disease. So a lot of this is nothing but hypocritical. They tell you to go to Africa, they are going to Africa, yet when the opportunity stares at the face to come to Africa, no, they have another reason. So for me, a lot of it is just lip service. Nothing more than that.
Recently, you were on a tour and you went to some Caribbean islands. You actually met the head of state, the president of which country?
Yes, I met the president of Guyana.
Guyana.
I also went to Zimbabwe.
So my question is this thing that you're describing just a Jamaican thing? Because Guyana is also in the Caribbean, and from what I saw, from what I saw of your visit to that country, at least, that was quite a welcome. You know, you actually had the opportunity to meet with the president and fly on the same jet with him and all of that. Is it just the Jamaicans doing that, or what?
Wonderful. Looks like you are asking all the very important questions. You know, look, I think that isn't just a Jamaican thing. And it's unfortunate because we love Jamaica and we don't want to single out Jamaica. We're talking about Jamaica, but it looks like it's a Jamaican thing. Our Jamaican region don't seem to love us the way we love them in Africa and beyond. When I was in Guyana, I collaborated with some reggae artists there, and they also have the same thing. I just don't want to mention names. They also complain the same thing. Some Guyanese, big Guyanese reggae artists went to Jamaica for several years. They had to return to that island, Guyana, and finally it's not an island, sorry. They returned to Guyana with nothing. And they were complaining how, the Jamaican people did not want to accept them just because they are not Jamaican. And I remember somebody even told me that that's why a lot of the artists are down with soca, because soca is so welcoming. The country that actually kicked it off, Trinidad, they don't really mind whether you are from that country or not. As long as you play soca and it's good, they will accept you. But for Jamaica, it looks like there's a kind of mafia that is blocking other reggae artists who are not Jamaican, including Jamaican people who have been lived in Jamaica. They are also blocked in one way or the other. It is an open secret, and it's time we spoke about it. Yes.
It's very interesting because honestly, you're opening a can of worms right now, Blakk Rasta. This is an issue that goes beyond just even the music, and in a moment or two, we will get to other aspects of this mentality, if you want to call it that. But before that, let me ask you, reggae music. Within the past few weeks, I've spoken to a number of artists and producers, etc., some of who suggest that if you are not Jamaican, you cannot really play reggae. If the reggae is not coming from Jamaica, it is not Jamaican. It's not reggae. They make the comparison that if you play high life, for instance, if someone comes from, say, Jamaica to play high life in Ghana, that cannot qualify as high life or as zonto or whatever. What's your take on that?
Well, I think that is unfortunate. It's almost like saying that if in England, if English is not from England, or if English is not spoken in England, then it ceases to be English.
Mm-hmm.
No. Human beings are human beings, and wherever they are, they can have some talent. I know people who do hip-hop around Africa who are better than some of the big hip-hop artists that we know of in America.
Akon is a very good example. Akon comes from Senegal.
Akon, exactly. Look at what Akon is doing there. Look at what Akon is doing there. Look at Nasio Fontaine. Look at the kind of reggae music Nasio Fontaine plays. Lucky Dube sold more than all the contemporary reggae artists in his time. From the most just mentioned it, and you can check that out. There is something that you can see. He said, Fanta Musa said he was the next person selling reggae CDs at that time. And the only person who was ahead of him was Lucky Dube. Lucky Dube was from Africa. Look at the fight that Lucky Dube had. I have also heard that. I remember I was in England. I was recording in a studio in Lewisham Way. And the Jamaican sound engineer told me, well, Yo, it's not reggae, it's what Jamaica, you know. Yeah, you know, and he was so proud of it. For me, I think it's kind of racist. It's kind of racist thinking. You know, you might think that you are trying to protect the reggae music and protect your bread. But when you do that, you become racist. Because even Luciano came to Ghana. And I put this question before him on my radio show, that this was the experience I'm having with some Jamaican people out there. And he told me, oh, they were not being wise because when Bob Marley played reggae music, he intended that reggae music would go around the world. Other people would appreciate it and play it and all that. Only for him to go back to Jamaica and say that some people were copying the Jamaican style of blah, 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 and they were photocopy artists, Jamaican photocopy artists in Ghana who were blah, 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 blah. I was really disappointed in that statement, and I was so glad that you wrote extensively about it. I read the article you wrote up, on that issue. That is it. I have had personal links. I don't want to mention names of artists, big artists that I thought that they could have. They could have. Look, some of these artists, you meet them in America, and they are free to hang out with American, English, other people. They are free to hang out with these people. They come to Africa, and they have soldiers surrounding them as if it was a war zone. People cannot come around them. If they are biggest fans, they cannot even come around.
You know, one thing I also find ironical is that when you go to Jamaica with money to record, they will take your money and record for you. At that point, do they still tell you what they're recording for you is not reggae?
That is the paradox of it all. Because I know some African reggae artists who go and record somebody like Alpha Blondie. There's even one called Meta Dia. Meta that I met in New York.
Meta is in New York, yeah.
He goes to Jamaica to record, and he's from Seattle.
Yep.
Yes, he goes to record in Jamaica, and he even uses some of the Bob Marley family members.
Yes.
I know that his last album he had Julian Marley drums and all that. They will take them. But Takana Zion is from Africa. He goes to record. He tells me his experiences. The last thing he told me when he was in Ghana here a few months back, it was so bad. The treatment he had in the hands of Jamaican musicians. He said they don't respect him when other Jamaican people are coming on stage. They get all the support, but when he's getting on stage, he doesn't get it. The only thing that gets Jamaican musicians get on stage for him is money.
Let me play the devil's advocate here for a second. So I've spoken with some Jamaicans who say this, right? Okay, you have gold, you have cocoa, you have whatnots. Jamaica has very little in terms of natural resources. A lot of Jamaica's resources come from reggae music. Are they not justified in trying to protect what earns the island a lot of money?
No, sir. There's no justification here. The cocoa also belongs to you. You were part of us after that wicked management took you away. The doors of Africans are always open to people like our Jamaican brethren and sisters. We always consider them as part of us. Come to Africa. Come and help us build a cocoa industry. Be part of the, booty sharing. We don't stop anybody from that. But when we are coming into the reggae to even legally participate in it, it is war. It is war. But when you are coming home, we give you land. Look at what happened in Ethiopia as Shamani. I was there personally. I saw how Jamaican families have been accommodated. I go all around Ghana and I see a lot of Jamaican families accommodated nice and just like Ghanaians. See, there is no fight. I don't hear anybody saying that this one is from Jamaica, therefore don't play high life or don't do this or no. We are even happy to see people participate in our music and culture.
And
but
another.
the opposite in Canada.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yes, I was in Canada. I was booked to play a concert, and it was called Jambana. I think it's been running for several years now. Canada, that's 2 years ago. Trust me, all the artists who came on stage were Jamaican. I was the only African. The promoters had a very good mind for the African. They wanted me to come out and do something. The moment they introduced me as a reggae artist from Ghana, I realized that, the people all of a sudden became moody. They weren't expecting an African artist to be doing reggae. You coming from and some of them, look, Richie Spice was around, Coco T was there, count the big Jamaican artists. I finished playing and came backstage. Some of them were like, that was a nice show. Yeah, it could have been better if it was done in, the African style. Some African music and blah, 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 and things. And so one of them came up to me and said, you have a lot of energy that goes very well with the African music, but not with reggae. My God. But I even had an encore that night, that day that I played. You can check it out. I finished with the people were still screaming to have more of Blakk Rasta. I came back on stage again for an encore, one more song, and then I went away. But trust me, that was what the other artists were telling me backstage.
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah. So on another level, right? This is something that, like I was saying a while ago, it's not just the music. It transcends that. It's a certain mentality which is unfortunate to say the least. But you've also met people, I believe, or I have at least, who say stuff like Africans, continental Africans, are responsible or partly to blame for slavery because we or our ancestors sold them out into slavery. You think it's connected, and what's your reaction to that?
Yeah, I've heard that time and again. Yeah, you African people sold us into slavery and blah blah. It is true. Slavery was two-sided. Much as the white people came in and took away, people with the help of black people. You see, the people have to learn their history very well. Remember that when Europeans came into Africa to take people, the African mentality at that time was that they were selling out the thieves and the murderers and all those people. Even at that time, it was not like selling. They were giving them out for punishment. See, that was what it was like. It was later a few people went commercial and were really attacking each other and selling each other because it had become a lucrative kind of business. In every society, we have bad people. We have bad-minded people who will do anything for money. In the past, they were there and in present. At present, they are still here. See, so you can't go out wholesale and say that African people sold you to slavery. Have you forgotten the great Africans who tried to unite us?
The Salaga Wall?
The great Africans who opened their doors to. Yes. So I don't buy that mindset at all. We have to learn our history and get to know that the slavery that it wasn't everybody who was being sold. The thieves, the murderers. Slavery was in Africa in a way.
All right.
Before the white people even came.
Cool. So I take it this is not anything against Gramps Morgan in person. Would you want to? Would you want to brighten that spot?
No. Gramps Morgan is a nice brother. I am happy that he's coming here. He's enjoying whatever he's enjoying. I wish that every other Jamaican artist would also have this. Luciano was in Ghana. They made him a chief. He's coming back. There's going to be a big celebration for him. I think next week he's going to be in Ghana again. I had a call with Luciano. It was all beautiful and nice. But the sad thing is, you come and it's beautiful. Everything is nice. You go to Jamaica a week after we are hearing you. This thing, it's not right. And some other artists have also come in and they look at Rita Mali. She chose Ghana, of all places, to live the rest of her life. Until recently when she fell ill and then she had to go and seek foreign treatment. She has been with us all this while. She was even made a great mother. Look at your surreal culture. I personally made a song for him, 2 songs, when he passed on, because Ghanaians love him. He was also made a chief, right here in Ghana.
Joseph Hill.
Which Ghanaian has been made the chief is J.A. Which Ghanaian
Joseph
has gone to
Hill.
Jamaica and he's been raised to a certain level that you would say that, oh, Jamaicans have reciprocated what we have been doing here. Now,
Hmm.
it's pure fight.
I see.
Pure fight, especially when you are ready.
I see. So I was just trying to say that Joseph Hill is in a class all his own, and I'll give you a personal experience with Joseph Hill. When he when he got to Ghana, when he got to Kumasi for the Bob Marley anniversary, I think that was 2004, 2006 thereabouts. He went into the people. He spoke with them. He touched them. He connected with them. He ate the food, and he is definitely different. But again, it's interesting that you mentioned Rita Marley because this is another experience that I had with that whole experience that you are describing. During that same Bob Marley anniversary, reggae artists from Ghana wanted to play on that show. They were having none of it at all. Eventually, after a lot of back and forth, they agreed to let only a few of them play, i.e., open for the show. Eventually, what happened with the Kumasi show was that after these artists did the sound check, they were told that that was actually what they were brought there to do. And I think that was quite shameful.
It was. I was part of that. In fact, I remember that I was on a video and I played Conscious Generation was also part of it. And when we came out and were giving our very best and running on stage and all that, the cameras were not on us. That was one thing. I wore my best stage wear at that time. I remember I had just come into Accra, only for us to finish and go backstage and be told that, oh, they were using us for sound check. Oh my God, I could not believe it.
And even the artists who were chosen were, according to them, artists who sounded more like, Afro, whatever they want to call it. And again, for artists who were playing hardcore reggae, they were forced to go into their archives to pull out, their songs which had high lifey rhythms, or they had to create them or whatever. I don't know, man.
You were right. You were right. I remember that, in fact, the brother who was in charge of it was Ariel. I remember Ariel was the one in charge of it, and he selected the artists. I know that he took out some of the artists that he loved, but there was a reshuffling. Somebody else had to listen to the artists that he chose, and then they cut them out and chose those that they thought would match. And me, for instance, I remember I gave up 2 songs that I was supposed to perform. And then they said, no, get us some more music and let's see. And they chose the songs, as you just said, those that had the kind of Ghana culture, African kind of feel. We
Yeah.
were told initially that there were 2 songs. But at the end of the day, when we got to the venue after rehearsing, everybody did one song each, one.
So, Blakk Rasta, thank you very much for your time. Before you go, though, let me ask you, looking at all this, should we still try to play reggae music, or should we just play something or call it our own genre? Ras Malenzi and certain people started experimenting with stuff that they call Sun Life, Roots Life, whatever. Should we just leave it alone and create our own genre?
Rasta, that is the way forward. The way forward is lying in front of us. And that is it. Play the reggae in our own style and give it a new name. It's not a dish to Jamaica. It's not an insult to Jamaica. It is just creativity. That is all. That's why now the reggae that I play is called Kuchoko. And Kuchoko is simply the sound of the original traditional reggae. Kuchoko. Kuchoko, Kuchoko. That's all. But what I do is I infuse it with a lot of dance from Ghana and the rest of Africa. Like Balugo can be heard in reggae now. Takai can be heard in reggae now. Instruments that were not traditionally heard in reggae can be heard now, like the OJ, and all those instruments inside the reggae we are doing right now, give it a new kind of energy, rebrand it. That is why I've been talking to the dancehall artists here in Ghana. The patois in the music is too much. Yeah, someone like me can also be blamed for that.
I was just going to say that because you yourself are very heavy on the patois.
Exactly. Very heavy on it. Because I felt that it was a way of uniting us, making you feel that we want to be part of your culture, just as we appreciate you being part of ours. But when I started traveling around the world and I realized that no, they see extreme admiration, and even encroachment on their culture and all those things. I started changing my mind gradually. So when listening to my reggae music now, I now even sing in the body. My last 2 albums, you hear me singing in the body. And all that, I've gone into these things and I'm bringing them out. And then I believe and pray that the youth will also latch on to this. And then, we will have a very beautiful time together.
Thank you very much, Blakk Rasta. Much love.
Thank you, man. Yes, appreciate it.
All right.